Hey, what's up out there? Dave Duford yet again at Final Expense Agent Mentor. Stuck in traffic. God, I hate traffic. For you guys that live in any kind of city or suburban area, I don't know how you do it. I can't imagine commuting daily like this, stuck in traffic that goes nowhere, adding 30, 60 minutes to your drive time. It drives me nuts. So I figured I'd cut a video today to distract my frustration sitting behind cars endlessly. So had a real interesting conversation yesterday with an agent of mine. His name is Reynolds in South Carolina. We were talking about objection handling and how to rebuttal. And it reminded me of I believe, Tim Wenders from Iowa. If you've not heard of Tim Wenders, he's one of the legends of Final Expense. Back in 2010, I think in 2009, the guy wrote 400,000 each year, in excess of 400,000 a year in premium. His average case size at the time was 1,000 per case, and he much of what he teaches, not everything, but much of what he teaches, I have implemented myself, partially, not all of it, into my approach to selling. And one of the things that he teaches is that and when it comes to persuading a prospect to buy a final expense plan, and I thought this is a beautiful explanation of what your goal should be. His explanation or his description was you have to build internal tension inside and not apply forceful outside pressure. So let's dissect that a little bit so you can better understand what I'm describing. So, the act of buying a final expense plan or any kind of life insurance truly comes down to an act of love in most circumstances. Life insurance is designed for not the person covered, but for the person's beneficiaries, the people they love. That's why people buy life insurance. It's to free them from the obligation of the insured, such as their burial costs in our circumstances. And that's always the root core of any reason to buy any kind of life insurance, especially final expense. They love their family and they don't want to leave a burden behind for somebody else to have to take care of. And so we have to make sure whenever we rebuttal or an objection and whenever we present, we're trying to build internal tension. We want to politely and ever so slightly remind these people that the act of buying life insurance is not for a selfish reason, it's for the people they love. And it's all designed to benefit them. And so when we focus on rebuttaling objections, we must always remember that. I think it's important on a broader scope to make sure that when you are rebuttaling, you're rebuttaling with that mentality or with that in mind. The idea of reminding this person to that there is this tension within them that is based around taking care of the people they love, and which is the rationale for buying a policy like this. Because one other subset or concern we had when I was talking to Reynolds yesterday is that there's sometimes the level of concern when you rebuttal. You know, on what basis do you rebuttal an objection? And how do you rebuttal? Now, some people may not care about this and they'll just rebuttal however, and that's fine. But some people do think, well, I don't want to rebuttal in a disrespectful way or a self-driven way. And this is somewhat of a solution to that problem. If we rebuttal in a fashion in which we focus on reminding this person of what their internal tension is in the process, then we focus on the core reason to buy, not versus saying, hey, look, um, buy because I say so, because to put pressure on them to guilt trip them. That's not what I'm trying to say here. It's lovingly reminding these people that there's a reason they sent the card in. There's a reason that you've went through this process with me. There's a reason you've looked at this insurance policy, and it all stems around you loving your family, and the desire to get this coverage is there. And now you have the opportunity to solve this problem. Let's do it. Maybe it's about price. You know, do we? And so for example, perfect example. Maybe you get an objection about price, and instead of headlocking these people into a close at the highest price, you use this tension building rebuttal, and you remind them that something is better than nothing, and then you paint the picture in the rebuttal about what happens when they do die. Sure, maybe they're not totally satisfied with getting a partial amount of coverage, but now they end up with something, which is a lot better than nothing. As we all know who've ever delivered claims, families are always in need of cash money, especially the people we deal with, as most of their family is in the same kind of economic shape as the insured is. So I wanted to cut this video real quick just to kind of describe to you what I think you should carry as far as the mentality when you deliver your sales presentation, as well as when you handle objections and rebuttal them. Build the tension inside of them, because the tension is there. These people have crossed the threshold in many circumstances to buy life insurance for the first time, or they've waited long enough and they've experienced some kind of calamity that has put this all into a focus that is just entirely new and shocking. And they desperately need to have some kind of life insurance because they know that they are terminal, as we all are. We're all mortal after all. And so the idea here is to keep them in mind of that, and to make sure that they remember this, because it's really important. So, looks like the traffic is clearing. Maybe not. But that is all for today. If you got any questions about anything I'm describing, if you like what you hear, I implore you to check out the rest of my YouTube videos. I have a collection of hundreds of final expense specific YouTube videos that describe the entire sales process I teach, as well as information on leads, objection rebuttals, appointment setting. Gosh, you name it, anything as it relates to final expense, I've got video training on it. So check out my YouTube training website, and you can check out my website as well for more material there. If you like to work with me, please check out my website. It's feagentmentor.com. And if you'd like to talk to me one-on-one, go to the contact box at the top of the page and then submit me a message, and I'll be more than happy to set up time to talk with you and send you some preliminary materials. My name is David Duford at Final Expense Agent Mentor. Guys, have a good day. Hope it's productive. Bye.